Today I'm going to replace the halogen headlights in my Buick Encore with these LED headlight bulbs. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. I just picked up these. They're Honks LED light bulbs. Now, I picked these up for a specific reason, so let's unbox these and take a look at them before we put them in. So let's take a quick look at what we get in the box here, and looks like we get a little manual. We get some gloves here, which is nice because you don't want to touch the LED emitters. So a couple of gloves, and then here are the lights themselves. And I picked these up specifically because they looked very similar in shape to the original ones. So a lot of these, the heat sink and whatnot, will be an extra cord that dangles off here. They will have kind of a physical fan sometimes. This looked to be the smallest, most compact LED light bulb that was as close to the original as possible. Now, I think that they are still a little bit bigger. You can see the little plastic connector there. I will tell you that it looks like aluminum housing all the way around. You can see the 3 little flanges that will allow you to tighten this in. Little silicone ring right here too, so get a nice tight seal there. But I will tell you here that when you are tightening this in, the temptation is going to be to use this little plastic connector here as a lever to get some leverage on it to twist this in, and you don't want to do that because I think they will say that this will break off, and I've read in reviews that people will break those off. So despite the fact that I think there could be some knurling here to get a really good grip on it while you're twisting it in, you don't want to put any more pressure on here than you absolutely need to. You certainly don't want to hold this specifically as you tighten it in. So let's get the old light bulbs out and put these in and see if they work. So got the hood popped here. Now I'm only going to replace actually these outside the headlights here, not the high beams. So I think on this side it's going to be a little easier. So what you can see here is the cover for the regular headlights and then the cover for the high beams, and this has pretty good access. So in order to get this cover off, I'm just going to reach in here and twist it counterclockwise. I think just like quarter turn, maybe not even that, to undo it. It's going to be really tight. That O-ring is going to hold it in there pretty good. So I twisted it. It doesn't turn that far, but then it wasn't popping out, and I thought, oh man, it's not twisting any further. But what I realized is it's actually undone. I just need to use a little flathead screwdriver here and kind of pop it out. So it's just stuck in there real well. So once you get it kind of partially twisted, I mean, I don't know, 1/10 of a turn, it should just come out just like this. And you can see that we have that O-ring on there. That's going to keep it in there. So I'm just going to set this aside. And now down in here, we have the headlight bulb. And what I am going to do here is just going to try to turn this. And I think counterclockwise is the way to go again. And as I can see here, I did twist it. And I think that's unlocked. It feels a little loose. So just kind of pulling it out. I'm kind of working this connector free first, and then I can just pull out the rest of this. Now, obviously on a halogen bulb, you would never want to touch the glass, you know, so that your oils don't get on the glass because it gets really hot and burn it out. But I'm going to just throw these away. And you can see the connector connected there. There's this little tab right there that I just have to pull up so I can pull out the light bulb out of the socket here. So I got the original bulb. It's an H11, and I want to show it to you compared to the new one. So you can see the little flanges there that will tighten it in. If I just line up those flanges, this bulb is longer this way and has more body this way. So that's why I got it, because I think it's going to be one of the smallest ones. I mean, the spaces that they built into the cars or designed into the cars for the light bulbs were based on these halogen bulbs, not LED. And so despite the fact that this is maybe only 1/4 of an inch longer here, and maybe 1/8 of an inch longer there, my worry is that it still might not fit because they just don't build in a lot of extra space. But we're going to try it. Now, it may not be the easiest thing to see, but I can actually see the headlight coming back into the opening here, and this will allow me, looking in through the front, help me align those little tabs before I twist this back in. And again, not trying to use the connector to twist this back in, just kind of twisting the body as much as I possibly can. And there it is from the back. It looks like it is in there, and that little connector should be pointed down, and so it'll be vertical like that. Now we can just put the cap back on and turn that back in. So what you kind of want to do here is just kind of slowly turn the cap until it presses in, until you find the little tabs and it's pressed in there all the way. And now I can just turn it clockwise to tighten that back in. So I just fired up the car to see if the headlight is even working, and so far that looks pretty good. It is not flickering. That's just the camera refresh rate, but man, so far it's working. So I'm going to replace the other one now, and then we will test them out. All right, now to replace the other one, I was afraid that I might have to remove stuff, but what you can see here is you would remove this if you're gonna replace the high beam, but the low beam is right here. So I think, again, I can just kind of twist this counterclockwise. All right, I will tell you, this one's a little bit more finicky because there isn't a lot of clearance inside that housing, especially when you're trying to get that connector in there too. So you have to be a little ginger with it, be very exacting, and then you do have to kind of press it in before you turn it. So you got to kind of muscle it through. It's going to kind of bend those wires a little bit, but I was able to get it in. So I can tell you that these H11 bulbs do work. All right, so I can tell you that it's lit up on this side and that side, but it's the middle of the day here, so I won't be able to tell you right now if they're better than the original lights, but when the sun goes down, we'll find out. All right, so it is night, and I love these headlights. Been driving around. First of all, if you look here, you can see that the white headlight is now matching the white LED accent lights there, so you don't get this big contrast of like a halogen yellow versus the white. In fact, I mean, might be a little hard to see there, but they are pretty darn close. Now, I will also say that as I was driving, the light is a bright white. I mean, it is a white light, even maybe a little blue. And if I just show you what the light looks like against the garage now, and you can see that that is very bright and very white. So I will tell you, I mean, it's hard for me to tell you that it is brighter because I think white always looks brighter as well. But I will tell you, this illuminates a lot, and you can see a lot of the road. And in some ways, I almost was thinking, man, is that too bright? You know, is oncoming traffic thinking that you're shining the light right in their eyes? But I think things like xenons and lights like that are also really bright. So I think people are kind of used to it. But man, this is really bright, and I think that looks great. And I can tell you that in the Encore, these H11 bulbs that I got absolutely do fit. They take a little fiddling, but you can kind of massage them in there. So if you want to do this upgrade on your Buick Encore, I will put a link to the headlight bulbs that I use in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.
We can discover more and explore so much deeper. We can live better than ever, thanks to Peter Von Panda.